What's going on, everyone? Conservative Video Dipper here. I'm going to do a little rant today, or this evening. I wanted to make a video of it, but the video would have been a little bit longer than I wanted. So, I'm going to rant. Now, this video or this live is not safe for work. So, I do want to remind you that viewer discretion is advised if you are around people that are underage or of that age under 18. Do not watch around that, um, because language is probably heavily going to be used. I don't understand when it became a thing that these little pudding pops started demanding that we respect their authority, and that they demand that we have to use their certain pronouns and their certain things, and if we don't, then that becomes a phobia. And by the way, if you guys got a dip, pack a lick. If not, I got one for you guys here in a sec. Dipping on Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. When did that become a thing for us Americans? When did that become a freaking normal thing for us? I don't get it. I do not understand it. Why did we allow it in the first place? I do not understand it. I do not respect it. I don't think that it should be seen as normal. I do not think that it should be even allowed. Because, first of all, they're not the police, they're not authorities, and we don't have to respect, and we don't respect people that go out and demand respect. If you go out there and demand respect, sorry, you're not going to get respect. You don't demand respect. You earn it. Respect is earned, not given just because you demand it. You don't have to ask, or you don't ask somebody to give you respect by demanding it. Howdy, Freya. And that's sad that these little Gestapos, and I'm going to call these liberals and Democrats Gestapos, because they act like a bunch of freaking Gestapos. If you don't agree with them, they act like a bunch of crybaby Gestapos. And it sucks. And they don't like it when people disagree with them. And that's what I don't understand is, when did America become this way? And we should have never become this way. America was never this way. And when I grew up, we were allowed to have different opinions. Now, when I was a kid, I was always told, never talk politics or religion at the dinner table, because sometimes that could bring a bad conversation. And especially with your friends. Cheers, by the way. If I had friends that believed in things politically differently, we didn't really talk about politics. Because as a kid, we didn't really give a fuck about politics. Ish. We did care somewhat, but to us, we didn't see it as a big thing. But now kids that are out there, they think they know so much about politics that they're out there policing everyone and telling everyone how everyone should think and feel when they forget the Constitution says everyone has a right to think and feel however they please and choose. But to a degree, we can all disagree with them, but they don't have a right to police us and how we can disagree with them, but they get allegedly violent with us when we disagree with them. That's not okay. And they like to allegedly get violent with us. When we were kids, when we disagreed with people, we never got violent. We always would walk away. Or we would say, we'd always agree to disagree. It was always that way because we were smarter that way. Nowadays, kids are just raised to be stupid. And I don't know why these little pudding pop, special ed, crane, window licking, special ed, helmet wearing pudding pops got the idea that it's okay to do these things, but apparently they do. And now they think that it's okay to do it. There's no consequences for these people. That's not true. There is consequences. They should have consequences. But the problem again is insignificant for them because the politicians and the government and everyone else is encouraging these people. They're being encouraged, which I find deplorable in a way that they're not being punished the way they should because why why should they be not punished? They should. I I why should they be punished? They should. They should be punished for it. I bet no of them can be a real conservative. I don't think they could. I don't think any Democrat could really do anything. They're all lip service. They won't do anything. That's all they do is they're keyboard warriors. We know that. And that's another thing. They love to talk big behind the keyboard. That's another thing we know they love to do is that they think they're big and bad behind the keyboard, but when they go out and protest and do all these things, what happens is they meet conservatives that literally say, all right, you want to say this shit to my face and you want to get handsies, you do know that you can get arrested for getting handsies with us, right? And when they do get handsies and they get arrested for it, they start getting mad and having fits like, no, I shouldn't be arrested. I shouldn't, face punishment for it because it's within my rights to allegedly throw hands at you. No, again, you should be punished for it because if you're throwing fists at somebody, whatever side you are on, left or right, unless it's self defense, you should be punished for it. And they don't again understand punishment is applicable to them, and they don't like that. They are like children. They've never been told no, and they don't understand it. They don't understand when it comes down to it that they are not big and bad as they think they are. They don't understand that being a keyboard warrior is not going to always save them. They don't understand that what they do is not only going to affect them, but it's going to affect everyone else. It's going to affect everyone, including how they fuck up our country. For instance, they want to allegedly socialize healthcare. Do they care that it's going to screw everyone? No. Do they care that they shut down the government? No. Do they want to blame the Republicans for the shutdown of the government? Yes. Why? Because they don't think about this. They don't think about, well, what really is going to happen is how many people will be affected by what we do. It's just we're going to throw temper tantrums because we're not happy with what we're getting, and what we're getting is not attention, and we want attention, but we're not getting it. So we're just getting like a bunch of big babies, and we're going to shut down the government because we're pissed at the orange Cheeto man for not having that attention, and so we're going to blame somebody, which of course we're going to blame the Republicans, the MAGA for, which is obviously stupid because we know better. We know that MAGA isn't going to do it because MAGA, the only reason MAGA would shut down the government is for a good reason, and MAGA would never do it because there's no good reason right now to shut down the government. But of course, the Democrats would do it because they're pissed. They're throwing a temper tantrum, and they want their attention because they're not getting their binkies and babas and their little edible crayons. And they're fucking having a fit right now. I don't get it. It's beyond me. It's beyond me right now. Why are they doing this? Are they that desperate for attention? Yes. Do I really think that this is going to give them attention? Yes, but in the wrong way. Do I feel like this is going to hurt them in the next election? Oh, fuck yeah, it is. It's going to really destroy their chance of winning, for sure, more than anything. And here's what I don't also understand is that every time that they do something stupid, they blame white people, white conservatives, or white people in general. I don't know why, but they always love, especially white liberals, love to blame white people for stupid shit. Especially when you know white liberals are most likely the idiots that are out there causing the problems. They're the ones out there allegedly burning, looting, and doing the stupid shit that they're doing. It ain't us. It ain't us white conservatives doing this shit. It's the white liberals that are out there throwing temper tantrums. 99.9% of the time, who do you see out there on the media throwing temper tantrums? White liberals. They're the ones out there hollering Black Lives Matter, Free Palestine, all this bullshit about the LGBTQ, the rainbow community is not being seen, and all this bullshit. The Choo Choo Gay Express community, yeah, it's the white liberals. They're the ones throwing the little temper tantrums and the pity party and the woe me thing. It's the white liberals doing it, not us conservatives. I do not know, Freya. I do not know. We'll get to that one in a minute. I probably have three ideas, but we'll get to that in a sec. But going back to what I was saying though, you think about it. It's white liberals, right? Majority of them are white liberals. And white liberals love to always blame white people, right? Because it damn the white people, damn the white MAGAs, damn the white Christian nationalist conservatives, damn the white toxic masculine males on the right side, damn the white Confederate soldiers, and damn the people like me that fly the Confederate flag that look like toxic Southern people that look like me, right? It's always people like me that always get the F you and fuck them kind of bird that we get always the short end of the stick. By the way, I've noticed my beard's been growing lately, which I'm starting to like a little bit. You guys haven't noticed, um, but you guys notice a lot of that is happening. The white liberals are doing it, but do you see the white liberals ever calling out their own people? Not one fucking time. Not one single fucking call out to them. Not one single liberal calling out their own people. Not one time have they ever done it. Not one single person has ever called out a liberal of their own party. Why? Because it would go against what they do. It'd be against their own. And God forbid if they do it, it would be horrendous. It would be really detrimental to them. It wouldn't do anything other than it would hurt their pride and reputation. And they would try to wiggle their way out of that. They would do what they could to wiggle their way out of it just because they know that it would be somewhat true. God forbid if they did it, it would make them look so stupid. You would never see CNN calling out their own hypocrisy. You would never see liberal media calling out their own bullshit because it would make them look bad. And especially white liberals doing the stupid shit they do, you would never see it. Because you know damn well they would never do it. They don't have the balls to do it. But damn these white, toxic, masculine, male, Christian nationalist conservatives. It's always them that are always to blame. No, it's not us. You know why? Because we're not the ones doing shit over here. It's not us actually doing shit to you. You're doing shit towards us. You're doing shit towards your own people. And I've said it 1,000 times, even on the radio shows. Liberals are going to metaphorically eat their own. And what happens? They do. But it's kept sacred. Unless a liberal comes out and denounces publicly and says, I'm no longer a liberal and I'm no longer part of this, and I'm not going to be part of this liberal narrative, which is pretty much a whistleblower, then it becomes more public, then that gets attention. But a lot of the liberals try to do damage control to hide it, and they try to do what they can to make fun of that person. They try to do what they can to go after, allegedly attack that person, because that person is speaking truth and it hurts that political party. Now, you asked the question, Freya, when did they become so to that point of when they thought they were better than everyone? I think it started more towards when Obama was in office. They got a little bit gutsy, but I think it started more, really more towards like when Biden was in office. That's when they really started getting ballsy. They got ballsy when Obama was in office, but they started getting a little ballsy when Obama was in office, but not as ballsy as when Biden was in office. That's when they started getting really ballsy. That's when we started seeing how ballsy they were. And that's when we started noticing how ballsy they were going to get. They were starting to really wanting to get ballsy with us. And that's when we started learning the true side of their colors and how turncoat they would be to the American people and how hatred towards us they were and everyone. And that also showed not only that, but they're out of control. Like you said, they're out of control. They're like rabid animals. They have no control. They have no respect and dignity towards people. They have no respect towards our Constitution. They have no respect towards our just our freedom and our rights. They don't have respect towards anyone in general. They don't care who they affect. They don't really give a fuck. They don't care because all they want is democracy and democracy now. And that's all they want. And they want to blame whoever they want. And that's another thing that they want is they want again to blame white people for the black communities that are in democratic states problems, which is bullshit. That is not true. That is something that they really need to get their heads out of their ass about. They have done that for years. They have literally done that for a long time. You see a lot of these fake YouTuber commentators that are crane eaters that are claiming that these white people need to acknowledge their fake white privilege. Even CNN has said it, MSNBC, ABC, all these people have said it, that white people need to acknowledge their fake white privilege and help BLM. You know what's really said is there's no such thing as white privilege, and BLM really has not helped their own. They metaphorically ate their own. Oh yeah, yep. And I'm gonna get to that too in a little bit too. By the way, that's another one I was gonna get to. But you did bring up a good point, and they do support socialism. They claim they're not socialistic, but they are. They are very socialistic. They claim that they're not socialized, but they are very socialistic. They want white people to to acknowledge that Muslims are not allegedly bad people. The problem here is that Muslims really we know that there are good Muslims and then there are bad Muslims. But the problem here is that Muslims we know that come here that are allegedly radicalized, what they think of America. They don't like us. We know what they have said about us. They have said bad things about America. They have said they don't want America to live. They want America to end. They have radicalized Islam, which is not good. They have brought Islam to a radicalization point, and they want black people to be um, helped. They want Muslims to be helped from what? What do they want? What are they being helped from? Who's allegedly targeting them? Themselves? Because that's pretty much what they're doing. People are not targeting them. They're allegedly doing things themselves to make themselves look bad. They're allegedly doing things to become allegedly bad people. You know, the crime rates, the black on black crime rates. We know what's going on. We know that black on black crime rates are the in democratic states are the reason why the 1350 or the 1360 is the reason why this shit's happening. We know that allegedly radicalized Muslim Islam is the reason why a lot of people don't trust that religion. We know that if you read the Quran, why people kind of don't trust Islam very much. I've read the Quran. I don't trust Islam. I don't trust the religion. I'm sorry. I don't really believe in Islam. I never will. I don't like the religion. I respect the good Muslims, but I do not respect the radical Muslims. But the problem is that Islam, the religion, is becoming radicalized by the bad Muslims. And that's the problem is that too many good Muslims are not stopping it. And the good Muslims need to start seeing this and start really calling this shit out and saying, look, our religion is becoming taken over by alleged radicalization, and the Sharia law should not be here in America. It doesn't belong in America. Even though we may allegedly be Muslims in America or Muslim Americans, Sharia law does not belong in America. They may be Muslims in America that love America and love Allah, but they agree with the American ways and the American system, but they do not agree with the Sharia law in America and do not agree that it belongs here because that's way too radicalized. And it will hurt the American people. And the American people do not agree with that. And they have to do something about it by stepping up to the plate and talking about it and protecting not only other Muslims, but not just the Muslims, but the American people as well. That's not happening. Look at what happened to Britain. Britain got taken over. New York got taken over. That's sad. It's sad that that was allowed. I don't have a problem with good Muslims. I just have problems with it being radicalized and used in the wrong way. But good Muslims are being quiet, and they cannot do that because if they're being too quiet about it, then they're the problem too. They're going to become a problem, and that's when we need to deal with it because too many problems equal having to deal with a solution, and the solution is probably getting rid of it, meaning deportation. And then if we have to deport, then people are going to get angry and start outbursting saying, well, why are you deporting these people when they're citizens? Well, the problem is, you know why they're being deported, so we have to deal with it. We got to deal with these problems. We have problems, we got to deal with it. Just like illegal immigrants. We're not deporting them because they're brown or black people. We're deporting them because they're illegal. Well, we're deporting these Muslims because they're kind of they're allegedly radical Muslim sympathizers, and they're sympathizing with the radicals. They're not stopping this shit. They're not saying, "Hey, stop, guys. This isn't what we should do. We got to do better." They're sympathizing allegedly with them, and we don't need that. That's why this shit's happening. And we don't need that. We can get along. I honestly think that everyone really can get along here, but the Democrats aren't seeing this for what it is. That we all can get along, and at the end of the day, as long as we play nice, but the problem is the Democrats don't want to play nice. The extremist Democrats and the Anquifas and the extreme socialists and the extreme um, progressives really don't want to play nice because they never have. They allegedly never have ever wanted to play nice since day one. They always wanted to blame everyone but themselves. It's always the white people's fault. It's always the American people's fault when it's not. When we should, as American citizens, we got to think of America first, not last. Which kind of comes down to my problem here with America, and I know this is going to be very controversial. This is kind of why I'm giving a lot of thought to why the American flag kind of is starting to lose its meaning. And I know, hold on, you're going to say, well, conservative. You're conservative. I thought the red, white, and blue means a lot to you. It does, and it did, but it's losing its meaning. And it's starting to lose its meaning to me a lot. And it's sad. And here's why. Because, for one, it's losing its meaning to me because American people are not defending it. We're allowing this shit to happen on our homeland. We have alleged terrorists on our home grounds, like Antifa, on our home grounds, destroying cities, homes, hurting people, being allowed to get away with shit, and it's not being dealt with. Well, it kind of is because Trump is trying, but we got government alleged officials trying to stop it. And that's not right. That's treason. And they should allegedly be tried for treason. That's treasonous, and they should not be allowed to do that. I think that is a felony charge, if I'm correct. And they should be tried for felony charges for doing such things. If you try to stop ICE agents from arresting illegal immigrants, you should be charged for felony charges for stopping ICE agents for doing their job. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. You should be charged. Period. Because they're doing their job. There should be no questions on that one. America has gotten to this point where we're allowing shit to happen. We have a president who's trying to do things, and America, I feel like, is losing the backbone of what we once used to be, where people stood behind a president that wants to save America, who wants America to be free, who wants our country to be free, who wants to protect and put America first, which should be first, not any other country first. Sure, again, I will say this. I do not agree with Israel getting money. I do not agree with the secular Jews receiving, the Zionists receiving money from us. They're only Jews by name. They're secular Jews. They're theist alleged Jews. I do not agree with it. The only Jews by name. I know it's not something that really is much talked about, but it needs to be said more and more. I do not agree with it. But we need to put America first. I do not feel like that is happening very much anymore. I feel like America has gone down the shitter. We do have our president trying, but a lot of people are stopping it. A lot of people are saying, no, let's shut down our government. Let's not do this. Oh, our president's allegedly stopping SNAP. No, Trump isn't stopping SNAP. Um, to hurt people. You know why he's stopping SNAP? To stop illegal from getting SNAP. He's not doing it because he wants to punish everyone. He's only doing it to punish the illegals from getting SNAP. He's punishing those who don't deserve SNAP or EBT cards from getting it, which rightfully so, they don't deserve it. But everyone's pissed off at him for it, unrightfully so. He doesn't deserve it. That is an unrightful call. They don't have the right to be pissed on him or pissed off at him for it. They should be backing him for it and saying, "Yeah, I okay, fine, I agree. Yes, let's not let the illegals have that shit. Let's not let people who do not deserve that shit have that. Let's make sure those people who do not deserve benefits have that shit. Let's make sure those who deserve it have it, but those who don't deserve it don't have it. Y'all should be backing our president for it, not sitting here pissing on him. But y'all don't have the backbone to do it. Y'all are just acting like a bunch of pussies. And it pisses me off. And what pisses me off the most is y'all bunch of pussies that are bunch of window licking, crane eating, short bus riding, special ed, held back, multiple grade, helmet wearing, special ed, and Quifa supporting tartars don't understand is that y'all burn the flag, which, yes, kind of does somewhat constitute a First Amendment, but y'all are pissing on the soldiers who fought for your right to burn that flag, and y'all forget what that flag means. Y'all forget what that flag means. You see any of us Southern people burning that flag? Oh, fuck no. You know why you don't see any of us burning that flag behind me? Because you will never see any of us Southern people desecrate our flag. Because none of us Southern people will desecrate our fucking flag. Because we will never desecrate our flag because our flag means something. Because our flag stands for what we believe in. Not slavery, it means more to us than just what you want to pretend it means. It means that we respect it. And you Yankees that want to pretend that it means slavery, keep pretending, keep acting like a bunch of tartar crane eating yuppies all you want. But you will never see us real people, Southern people that support the flag that flies behind me, that have actually believed in what it really means, and will continue to support the Confederate soldiers who actually, by the way, didn't all fight for slavery. We will continue to support the real history because we don't forget history. We don't erase or whitewash history. We keep history the way it should be. While you Yankees do this, we don't forget our history. We remember it. That's why I'm getting tired of it. That's why I don't fly the American flag anymore as much as I used to. I will fly it. I do fly my American flag. But I don't fly it in my room because I have it elsewhere. I have it flying outside right now to show support for my troops, for one, but also for two, because I do care for our country. Unlike you yuppies who don't give a fuck about our country, I do. I fly both flags because I understand what it means to me. I fly both flags because I'm not going to erase history, both American and Confederate history. I'm going to stand on both sides. Fuck it, I'll say it. I'm almost to the point where I kind of don't want to fly the American flag anymore, ish, because I'm kind of getting tired of what our country's become, a bunch of yuppies. I'm getting tired of the yuppies pissing on the American flag and pissing on our country. But I'm not giving up on our country and our flag. As much as I almost want to give up on our flag and our country, I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna give up on our country and our flag. I I won't. I'll fly this flag a little bit more than the American flag in my room or my studio here, while I have my other flag outside flying. Which is fine because I do support both. So I do fly this one a lot more behind me because I am a Southern man through and through, dirty South Made Dirty South raised me. Dixie made me through and through. Proud of it. I ain't ashamed of it. But I'll tell you this much: you yuppies really have a lot of balls. You yuppies really do have a lot of balls to think that it's okay to come over and start pissing on our rights when you sit over there and bitch and whine that we shouldn't piss on your rights. Who who made you king? Oh, I beg your pardon. Who made you king or queen? I forget your gender because obviously some of you don't know your own gender. So I do beg your pardon. Or whatever gender you identify as. Because you yuppies obviously don't know your gender like I do. Because I have a cock and balls and I know my gender very well. Yeah, I'm the same way. I support the Dixie flag a little bit more, but I do support the American flag. But I do support both. But the Dixie flag I support a little bit more because I was raised by it. Not because I'm giving up on the American flag, but because I was born and raised by it. And because you don't see a lot of Southern people burning it. You don't see a lot of true Southerners burning that flag. They protect it with their life. And a lot of them will. A lot of us will do it. By God, that's something we will do. It will be a cold day in hell when that flag comes down behind me. That flag has always stayed up behind me, and it will stay up behind me. It will be a cold day in hell when that flag behind me comes down. The only time that flag will come down, I told my wife, the day that that flag comes down is when I'm deceased and I go home to Dixie. When my time comes, that flag will go down and be draped over me to signify my time has come, that I will go home, signifying my journey here has come to closure, and my journey will begin home, and I will begin when I go to God, I go home to Dixie. And whenever God and Dixie decides to take me home, so be it. So be it. So be it. Let that time be. But I will not let anyone piss or burn the American flag. I will take that as a sign of disrespect. And that is a sign of disrespect. And a lot of yuppies think that they can and they shouldn't. And I'm happy that our president made a bill for anyone to be arrested for it. Because now that that's happened, hopefully people can see that as a warning from our president that if that happens, they will get arrested. And that is treasonous. I don't like people burning the American flag. Do I have a problem with people burning the BLM flag? No, because that flag doesn't mean anything. What about the LGBTQ flag? That flag has no meaning to me either. Those two flags have no meaning to me, nor does the Free Palestine flag. Those three flags, those three flags have zero meaning to me. Zero meaning to me. Zero. I could give zero fucks if those flags got burnt today. Because those flags have no meaning. Now, would it be a sign of disrespect? Yes. Probably to a lot of people, yes. But to me, it's a flag. Unlike the American flag, and to this flag, people have fought under both the American flag and this flag. Blood, sweat, and tears have been fought under the American flag and this flag. And because of it, I respect the American flag and this flag. Think about it. Why do you think, again, when I made that video talking about my dirty South tattoo on my knuckles, and I said what I said about my knuckles, my tattoo knuckles? Dirty South, you have raised me. Dirty South, Dixie made me. I ain't saying that shit just to say that shit. I ain't saying that shit just out of my ass. I'm saying that shit with pride. And I'm saying that shit with my chest held high. I'm saying that shit with my chest held fucking high. Because that's who the fuck I am. And none of you little Yankee yuppies can ever take that away from me. None of y'all. I was born in the land of Dixie by the grace of God. There ain't no fucking way you gonna take that shit away from me. No fucking way will you ever take that away from me. Just like you can't take the fact that I'm an American citizen away from me. Just like you can't take my First Amendment away from me. Just like you can't take away the fact that there's a difference between a male and a female. You can't take that away. You can't take the truth away. Let's be honest. There's only two genders, male and female. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no in betweens, folks. There is no in betweens. There's no isms. There's only two genders, male, female. You can pretend, you can have a disease that makes you want to pretend or believe. But there's no other gender but male and female. That's the God honest truth. That's the God honest truth. Because when you see it, when you think about it, that's who I am. I'm an American. I'm an American Southern man through and through, by God. Not by choice, but by the grace of God. I'm damn proud. And I love my country, and I love who I am. And I will always be proud of who I am, and I will always love my country. And if I have to, I will always continue to do what I got to do to speak for my country. I will voice my opinion as loud as I got to make sure that people know that this shit's got to end. Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these fucking yuppies just acting like a bunch of fucking little ankle biting chihuahua. Yip, yip, yip. And all they do is just bark, bark, bark. And that's all they freaking do every day. It's yip, 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 bark. Score! They have nothing better to do than sit behind the keyboard and go, oh, I'm so triggered. I'm so pissed. Oh, what am I going to be pissed off about today? Like, really? What, how can I piss you off today, sweet cheeks? How can I piss you off today, Puddin' Pop? Hey, Puddin' Pop, are you really pissed today? Are you really that pissed off today, Puddin' Pop, that you really need a participation trophy? Really? You must really have your pantyhose. Oh, I'm sorry, your depends really up your butt cheeks today. That you really, really are triggered. Because apparently somebody didn't give you a lollipop and you must have missed your crayon passing today, or you must have not got your crayons today. So let me tell you something, Puddin' Pop, Sugar Pop, Gumdrop, and Lollipop, because I didn't get my little special crayons today either. Not 34 years of my life did I ever get a special participation trophy. Maybe when I was a kid, but not in my adult years. Nor do I ever fucking want one now for being who the fuck I am and being what I am. I never asked for a participation trophy in my adult years, and nor do I ever care for one because adults normally don't want it. It's called adulting, people. We're adults because we're not yapping little chihuahua ankle biter keyboard warrior pudding pops that sit behind the keyboard going yip 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 yip. We don't do that shit here. We act like adults. Grow the fuck up. Oh, I'm sorry. It must be really hard for you to grow up. How else can I trigger you today? You want me to tell you more facts to trigger you? What else can I say that would trigger you? How about, all lives matter. Not just black lives, but all lives. And it triggers me. Yeah, I bet that does. Sugar Pop, Gumdropping Lollipops, and Puddin' Pop. I bet that does. I bet that fucking does. I really bet that fucking does. Yip, 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 bark, meow. Keep going. I bet it hurts, don't it? I bet it really makes your butt cheek pucker and unpucker, don't it? Because guess what? At the end of the day, I don't care. I really don't. I really don't care. Because you little lollipop, special participation trophy lovers really need to get over it. Because it really does not need to be said more. We're grown ass adults here. You don't like America? I'm sorry. And then you got other YouTube alleged commentators that are telling people, well, if you don't like America, then go pack your bags and go back to Europe. Well, fine then, Miss Pooty Poppy. Guess what? Suck on this then. Because you know why I won't go ever back to Europe? Because look at what Europe's doing. Look at what the UK is doing. Look at what Germany's kind of doing to their own people. I'd rather live in a capitalist society. Why don't you go back to Russia or Korea and see how that shit works for you to pudding pop? Yip, 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 pop, yum. Try that shit in a small town, big boy. That won't work for you. But all you're gonna do is just keep being a little keyboard warrior, and it's gonna make you sound so strong. But at the end of the day, you sound like a little big ass bubba bitch. And that's all you little pudding pops are, is a big ass bubba bitch. It hurts my feelings, don't it? It hurts my feelings when you call me a pudding pop. You call me a pudding pop. Oh, I'm sorry. You want some special participation trophy? Would you like one? Would you? Oh, too fucking bad. We ran out. Get over it, sweet cheeks. We don't got one. I gotta take a dip out and I almost choked. Damn. I almost choked doing the last one. Ouch. So I'm trying to take my dip out. I got hiccups. But it's funny because these little special pooty pops think that they're special. And what happens is they get to the point in their life where they can't accept facts. They can't accept how deranged they are. They can't accept how nonsensical they are. They're not logical. You can't argue. I'm going to use a saying that I love to use. You can't fix stupid. You really cannot fix stupid. You really cannot fix stupid. Ron White said it best. You cannot fix stupid. You can't even argue with stupid. You cannot even try to make sense with stupid people or stupid arguments. You just no. Stupid is and stupid does. Period. It's just kind of thing. That's all you get. It's just it's kind of like somebody on coffee. Focus. They're jacked up on coffee. Focus. Dude, take your Adderall. Focus. My eyes are over here, asshole. Focus. Nope. Sorry, you're too. I forgot. I forgot. Sorry. You're too stupid. Sorry. Focus. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Kind of like taking a dumb person or a blind person to a David fucking Copperfield show. Sorry. Forgot you can't see. Sorry. They're too stupid. You can't focus. Sorry. Doesn't work. You can't fix stupid. Sorry. Well, Trump's trying, and he's doing the best he can. God forbid he's trying to argue and work around these people. But again, he's doing as much as he can. But these people do not know logic. They do not understand and comprehend reality. They want to be self-centered. They want to argue with only their logic. No, that's it. Just focus. Reality? Pretend. There's a big fucking difference. One is real, one is fake. Real, fake. Real, fake. Can you say real? Good. Now, can you say fake? Good. Now, can you say you're a dumbass? Good. Can you say not dumbass? Great. I kind of almost feel like you could put a liberal in front of a fucking Door to the Explorer show and they still wouldn't understand the fucking concept of anything. That's how stupid they are. That's how literally very short tension span they are. That is how short tension span. They are short tension span. They are short tension span to the degree it's like you try to argue logic and you try to get them to understand things. Like, dude, this is not a real concept. That the LGBTQIA community is not allegedly being attacked by straight white people. White people do not need to be blamed for issues. Your community is attacking allegedly their own people. You do realize that when you call alleged peaceful protest, you really should not call it that. It's not allegedly peaceful protest. It's not. Because your people have never allegedly been peaceful in the first place. Give me a time when it's been peaceful, please. Please. Please name one time that allegedly uh, Democrats have been peaceful. I'll wait. Oh, you're still here? Well, yeah, I'm still waiting too. Don't worry, I'm still waiting too. It's going to be 100 more years until we get the answer. Don't worry. I feel stupid for even asking that question too, because it never was. Because it's like, again, you put fucking Sesame Street on, and you put these liberals in front of the television and make them watch Sesame Street, they're not going to understand the concept. They don't understand the concept of what the difference is between peaceful and non-peaceful. They aren't going to understand that Sesame Street is not real. It's fake. It's a bunch of people that are using puppets and voice to create a TV show. It's all imagery. It's fake. It's an illusion. It's kind of like a mind trick. It's like taking them to see David Copperfield or David Blaine or Chris Angel. They aren't going to understand what magic is. They're going to be like, the coin disappeared. Hey. They aren't going to understand it. Their minds is literally just going to be like, the coin disappeared. They're really stupid. They're so stupid. They have no clue what is happening. This is how narrow-minded these people are. Just meow. You literally could tell them, "Hey, tomorrow it's going to rain bananas," and they would probably believe you. Oh, it's going to rain bananas. I better bring out my ice cream dish so I can have a banana split. That's how dumb these people are. For Pete's sake, you do realize it's not going to rain bananas, by the way, right? Never mind. Just never mind. Go ahead, believe it. Just believe it. I guess at this point, the concept is really great. You really are not brilliant. And then we got MAGA. MAGA has an IQ of a grandmaster chess player. We are smart. We're playing 100D chess, and we're like, boy, you guys, you progressive, extremist, Democrat, liberal, are playing checkers over here and eating the pieces. What are you guys doing? Why are you guys eating the pieces? No, stop eating. Oh, God, stop eating the pieces, will you please? Just stop. Okay, go ahead, eat the pieces, I guess. At this point, it's not going to matter anymore. We told you not eating the pieces. Just, you do realize that if you eat the pieces, it's going to be very bad for your health and not detrimental. It's just going to be very awful. And you're going to be shitting out the pieces and it's going to hurt you, right? Yeah, but I'm going to eat the pieces though. And you do also realize that if you eat the pieces, we're going to be missing chess pieces. Okay, don't care. Whatever. Go ahead. I guess. Kind of how we are in this state of mind at this point. I've been 1 hour and whatever minutes into this rant, and I've made a lot of sense into this. This is what we are doing. We are literally into this point in our lives where MAGA is playing 100D, 1000D chess, and we're getting better at it. We're getting way better at it as we're choo-chooing along in life, we have understood what we're needing to do, but we really got a lot more. We can continue to learn more. I'm not saying that we don't have a lot of things that we don't need to learn. We can learn a lot more, and we should learn a lot more as we go. But at the end of the day, we do need to do a lot of things, maybe differently, learn different openings, different middle games, and different end games. But at the same time, we're getting better. We're getting way better. We're getting significantly sufficient at this. While we're watching these booger pickers over here on the left picking their butts, eating the chess pieces, and eating crayons, and wearing their dunce cap hat, with licking windows, trying to figure out what gender they are, which, God forbid, they probably never will figure it out. They will never figure anything out. I don't even know what to say. It's honestly the horrific thing about this is they will never figure anything out, because the only thing that they will figure out at the end of this all is that they were wrong. Hopefully, at one point, they will figure out they were wrong. But they never will. They will never figure out they were wrong, because they will never acknowledge that they were wrong. They will never acknowledge how much of a racist, bigoted political party they were supporting, because they don't want to feel like they were wrong, because if at the end of the day they come out and say, well, we were wrong, and we feel like a bunch of dunce caps, that would hurt their pride, which we know it is going to hurt their pride. You got to eat a little humble pie and eat a little crow. Sorry, but you have to. You got to do it. But they have too much of an ego. Their ego is so high right now. It's like on cloud nine, that they don't even know how to check their ego. They don't even know how to think about that. They don't understand that their ego really needs to be checked. That all this shit that they're saying about us makes them look bad. It's not only hurting their political party, it's not only making them not only look bad and hurting their political party, but everybody's laughing at them. We're not laughing with them. We're not going, ha ha ha, you're right, you're funny. That's a knee slapper. Ha ha ha, yee ha ha. What was the joke again? We're laughing at them, because they're all a bunch of dunce caps. They're all a bunch of pudding pop dunce caps. And they can't acknowledge it. And they're sitting over there going, look at MAGA, they're a bunch of cults. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, okay, you're laughing at us, but guess what? Majority of the people that are over on the right side of history are actually laughing at you more than you have people laughing at us. Just saying. Just so that you remember who's on the right side of history, by the way. Just so that you understand who's on the right side of history, people. So that you don't feel like a true dunce cap. We're on the right side of history. You're on the wrong side of history. And if it makes you all feel way better for you pudding pops that are on the wrong side of history over here, can we just all please remind you that tomorrow is Tater Tot Friday, by the way. which does not include the crayons. So don't be disappointed if tomorrow you don't get your crayons. Okay? So no crayons tomorrow. Don't feel bad. So it's okay. You might get your crayons next week. We ran out of crayons because apparently Trump said that the orange crayons were the most popular ones. And I know you all love the orange crayons because that's your favorite color now because you love orange. And as much as you love Trump, and since orange reminds you a lot of Trump and orange is your favorite color, also not just because of Trump, but Cheetos, we'll have to give you orange crayons because it's on back order. So next week we'll give you the orange crayons. So anyway, that's just my rant for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. God bless Dixie. And remember, don't be a dunce cap and a pudding pop. Think about it, you guys. Stay sane, not insane. Love you guys.